to. Okay, perfect. So once you log into Canva, it doesn't matter where you are. If you click home, it'll take you back to this home screen. So you should be able to see this home screen, and it says here, design anything. So what Canva is great is they have pre-populated templates for you so that you don't have to go from scratch. So if you look at this down here, it says, would you like to create a Facebook cover, a poster, a presentation, an Instagram post, a video, a logo? And you can just basically go all the way to story, brochure, collage, resume, business card, book cover, YouTube channel, anything you can name off, they already have a set of templates that you are able to pick. And once you pick, what it does is, so I use a lot of poster. So I'm just gonna go back to where it says poster. So see, if you notice, once I click on it, it says here 18 by 24 inch because the template is already preset to a certain size. So that way when I print it out, or if, you know, I especially for printing, it's already set up in the right size, okay? So once I click poster, this is what you'll see. It brings the poster right into the space. This is your working space. So I'm going to go over the main features that you need to know. So once I click poster, it creates a blank canvas that's already is 18 by 24. And you can start working on this blank canvas, or you can start using templates to help you, have something already designed. So as you continue to learn how to design, you might like to start with your blank template, your blank canvas. But in the beginning, I go through a lot of different designs. So here is the space that you see. So these are all basically categorized into different themes. So you have coronavirus poster, you got healthcare poster, you got event poster, you got advertising. Now, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just, for me, I personally like to just look at the design and see, hey, what design suits what I'm trying to design and what do I like? Because the good thing about Canva is everything is editable, meaning you can take out everything, edit everything on this entire template that you see. So let's say if I wanted to use this, I click on that, and there it is. It populates the poster for me, right? Now, I just want to share with you guys that you will see sometimes when I click on the template, it says free, and then sometimes there it says free, 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 and then some of them are not free. So the frees are basically for you to use. The ones that are not free means you have to upgrade to the pro, right? So I'm just gonna go and say free. Oh, perfect. So this one is free. And so I want to start using this free poster. Now let's go into each of the features that it has. So once you have your poster up here, you can change the size if it becomes a little too small for you. So for me, I like to work with 50%. So because the poster is too big, right? They can't show it to you. So it's zoomed down to 20%. So if you're able to look at the bottom here, it says zoom. You can move it, click on it, and it goes to 50%. If you go to 100%, it's quite big, but you can move it around, right? So I like to, when it comes to poster, I work with either 25% to 50%. See, this is good enough for me to see, but it doesn't show me the entire look. So then I go back to 25%. Give 1 second. Okay, there you go. So let's go back to 25%. Perfect. So now you're going to see once you click on the poster, it allows you to then change any of this. So let's start working with the background. So I'm looking at the background now. If I don't like that background and I decide I want to change the background, I can go over here to all the different features here. It says here, photos. So once you click on the photos, it also shares with you all the different type of photos. So it depends. So if, let's say, if you want to design a poster for something artsy, you can just put art. There you go. Anything kind of related to art might come up. So if I like this, I just drag it over and it changes the background. I like this one. But because it's a poster, as you can see, this photo is a little bit blurry for that size of a poster. So sometimes, you see, there you go. Or what I also like to do is sometimes I don't want a photo, I just want a nice background. So then I go down here to where it says background. They have so many different backgrounds. There, I can drag on it or I can just click. So if I go here, let's see what kind of background I want. So what you notice is here it says free, so that's a free background you can use. I'm trying to see, where is this? I'm trying to end this Facebook notification, keeps on coming on. And then, but if it's not free, that means you do have to pay and they'll tell you the price for it, or you just upgrade to the pro. But there's so many nice free ones. So here you go. There you go. So let's say I kind of like that. So then I change that background. And if you decide that, you know what, you want to compare a couple of different look, all you got to do is go back to here and you click here. It says copy page. This is a feature I really like to use. I say copy page automatically. It just created a copy of that exact same poster. And I can copy again. So now I have 3. And then what I do is I go to the first one and I say, okay, that's the one background I like. Let me see if I put this background on here. Okay, so now I got that, and now let me try a different background and see how I like this background. Okay, so there you go. I have 3 different backgrounds to work with. And now, so as you can see, if you don't like any of kind of these like funky backgrounds, you can definitely go to colors. All the colors are up here too. So I can even easily just click color and it just gives you a solid color. So I know some people don't like different type of, you know, funky background. They just like a solid color. So you can definitely hear. And anytime you're here, if you see it here, it shows you that's the background color. You click on it, it pops up all the different colors for you to use. So you can play around with all the different colors that you like. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to background. I was just at this one. So there you go. Perfect. So that's working with the background and changing the background with a photo. Now, what if you decide that you have a photo that you really want to use as a background or as any type of photo on your poster that is your own personal photo? Then what you do is you go down to upload. And that is where you can then upload your own image. So you click upload, it'll basically search for whatever the photo is, could be any, wherever you have all your photos, and then it'll just upload that photo for you. Okay, generally I use a lot of, in my poster, I have images of myself or like a headshot. So I would upload my headshots or I upload my logo onto there. So that way you can add the photos on here, right? I don't know if I have any headshots on this computer because these are all pre-designed poster. Let me see. I have my husband headshots. So there you go. I will open that up and let it upload. There you go. Awesome. Yes, my computer was giving me some issues, so I'm using my husband. And so there you go. So I have a headshot up there, right? So now let's say I'm designing a poster. I kind of like the way that this look, but if I don't, I can create it from scratch. So as you can see, I can move these fonts around. I can change the font. I can edit what it says. So let's say if I'm doing a poster about travel, I just say travel, and then, so now we're talking about working with the text. Okay, so I'm done with the background. I'm just talking about working with text. So let's say I said I want to design a travel talk poster, and I want it to be there. It shows you that's the middle. I want to move this. I might not even like this box, or I kind of do, but I want it a little. So this box is actually what's called a frame. So you can move and play around with this because it's a design that they already created for you. But for whatever reason, you said, you know what, I don't even like the box. You can easily just delete it like that, right? So you click on it and you click delete. I don't know if I even like this font, so I don't even want that. So right now so as you can see, I totally like deleted all of the elements that they have. And so I just kept this, but then I said, you know what? I don't like this font. I'm gonna try and play around and see what kind of font. So anytime you click on a font, then up here, it changes so that you're able to have all the different fonts options. So here you can bold, you can change the color of the text, you can change it to gray, you can change it to whatever color you like. I like the white. You can make it italic, you can have it aligned. That's the alignment. You can have it all cap, uppercase or lowercase. You can have bullet points. But here, let's go back to font. So let's say if I don't like that font and I want to change it to this font, it automatically changes the font so that I can see on there right away how that looks. So if you see this king crown, it just means that's a pro font, meaning you have to have a pro account or you have to pay for the font. But they have so many amazing other fonts that are free. So like I mentioned to everyone, I've been using this free account for a long time. I've been using Canva for free for a long time, and they have a lot of different fonts. As you can see, now I can just kind of play around until I am happy with. When it comes to my design, I actually like it simple, and I like to use a lot of the simple font as well. Now, let's say if I wanted to see what type of text what other fonts they have, you can actually go to text here, and it actually has font combinations down here for you as well too. If you can see all these font combinations, these are font combinations that work, that looks good, because these are graphic designers that are working with Canva that have put it together for you. So let's say if I decide I like this font combination, I can just click on it. It goes over there for me. So as you can see, so they have all sorts of different ways for you to add text and font combinations. So if I like this, I can just change that wording down to like travel, right? So you can kind of play around with that. So there you go. Or, for me, it's just, when it comes to design, you can spend days and still not finish a design, or you can spend just a couple minutes. So it's really up to how much time you want to dedicate to that design that you got, how much time you want to whip up something, because design is art and science. There's a science to it, but there's an art side to it. And like everything that is an art, you can take forever to fix that design up and still not be happy. So for me, it's just, I like to just get something that looks okay, that is functional, that I just kind of whip it up and then have it ready and post it on social media and use it in my email. Because if I spend all day sitting there redesigning what I design, I can sit all day, because it's a lot of fun for me personally too, right? So
it's addictive.
Sorry?
It's addictive.
Yeah, you're right. It's very addictive because it's like anything you're creating, it's art. So it's so fun sitting there playing around, see how it looks. But what I do is, what I try to do, sorry, I'm just gonna log out of this because it keeps on messaging me. Here, okay. I try to delete it. Okay, delete. Okay, thank you. Where's Canva? Okay, perfect. Right there. Okay, perfect. Yes. So, or here you just go add a heading, and then it usually it shows you a bigger font. Okay. So now there's so many. I'm just sharing with you guys all the different ways to you guys can add font. So I'm just gonna say travel talk. Okay.
I can share this to PowerPoint. I can save it as a PowerPoint slide.
Yeah, I will share, I will show with you that in a little bit. Remember, this is a poster, right? So if you're trying to create PowerPoint, then from the get-go, you don't want to choose poster, you choose presentation. So that's a great question, Barry. I'm gonna go back to home. So now let's look at this. I'm working on this poster, and I decided just to go back to home because I changed my mind. I now want to design something else. I don't want to design that poster anymore. The cool thing is, so if I go up here and I go presentation, so they call it presentation. So if you click on presentation, they have all sorts of different presentation, and the way that they set it up, it's already created in the same size as like a PowerPoint, right? So Barry, if you decide you don't want to create a poster, you want a presentation, well, let's click here. And what I like about this PowerPoint is their design is a lot more fun, a lot more attractive than the ones you get in PowerPoint. But you can download it down as a PowerPoint or a PDF file that you can add into your PowerPoint. So let's say, depending on the look, if I want a professional look, if I want a fun look, and they have all sorts that you can go through, right? So it depends on the kind of look. So let's say if I want something like, you know, a corporate look, I can just go here. Once I click on that, it shows you all the different slides that are available, and all you got to do is change everything on it. So this is the slide one, and then I want, so here I can drag and add as a second slide. So it has a lot of different presentations that's part of that. Let me see here. There you go. So you just add, and then you kind of change. So maybe the first slide, I want it to look that way. The second slide, I want it to be, I like this. It depends on what you're trying to do, right? And now what's cool, so now I'm jumping to this presentation, and now I'm start working on my presentation. And so now like every single design, as I mentioned, everything can be changed. You can delete this text, you can move it around. So I want to show you guys something cool with Canva here. So if you notice, I'm moving it, the whole entire thing is moving. The word, that green background rectangular, and all of these words, because it's been grouped so that it's easy. This is a little bit of, I think it's a little bit advanced, but if you remember, great. But if you decided, you know what, I just want to move this thing right here, I don't want to move the entire thing together, then you can do what's called ungroup. So if you click on it, you notice, so anytime there's a pre-designed and you want to ungroup something, you click ungroup, it separates everything out for you. So meaning, if you want to move this, you move it. If you want to move the text, you move the text. If you want to move start up down here, you move start up down. You move that text here. If you want to move, make it smaller, you make it smaller. If you want to do this, move that. What that does, it allows you to change each of the, and move each of the element. However, when you design sometimes, so when you design, if you have a certain look that you already like, let's say I like this like right here, but I kind of don't want it on top, I want it at the bottom. Instead of moving each of these things, that's when you would then highlight it all and you group it together. So now that they're grouped together, you move the entire group. You don't have to move each one of them, right?
Where was your group command? I missed where you clicked.
So the group is up here. So you ungroup and group. And hey, I'm actually sharing with you guys something that I didn't even know until I've been using it for years, and I discovered it last year. And so there's always new features you're learning, right? So that's why I decided to do the classes sometime. It's just some simple feature that took me a long time because I used to just move each of them one by one. And I said, hey, there's a group feature. Either I didn't notice or either Canva just added on. I'm not sure, but I didn't know about it until last year. And so I started using Group and Ungroup, right? So basically it has helped me a lot because sometimes when I design with 3 different photos and I'm moving each of them, it took forever. So now you can ungroup or group. Okay, so it's right up there. Anytime you click on something that is a group, it will appear for you to ungroup. Or if you highlight everything together, it will show you how to group it like this. Once again, you highlight all of them, it will appear up here for you to group. You group. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the poster. So now that I start working on this presentation, I'm gonna in a little bit go back to the poster just to continue from there. But it doesn't matter what template that you're working on. Over here on the left hand side, you notice that you also always have the same function. Is there's photos that you can add, so you can definitely add photos here. You can add it as a photo where it's just a photo as a part of your design, or you can add it where it's so big that it takes up and becomes the background of the whole entire template. Now, if you notice, you'll be like, what happened to all of the text and all of that? It's because we put it in the foreground. This has another cool feature. Anytime you add a photo or an element and you're noticing where's all the stuff disappear, you also go back up where it says here, position. So chances are the position of this photo is on top of everything. So if you go to position and you hit backwards, to the very back, there you go. So you can play around, right? So this is very handy because once you start layering things, sometimes you're like, oh, where did where my text go? Where did that other element or that illustration go? It's chances are it's on a layer, and you just have to click on it and then it will be there. Now, if you said, you know what, I don't like that, then you can easily click on the photo and delete the photo, and there goes your original design background. Okay, so that is just to show you. Now I'm going to continue on with elements. Okay, so elements. So elements are really cool. Elements are illustrations, or grids, or different things that you can add to your designs to make your design look great, right? Without drawing it from scratch. So here you have certain charts, right, that you can add on, or I have actually used a lot of charts. I use a lot of like lines. It depends. So if you're creating a poster and you want to create, is this a business poster and I want some kind of a computer illustration, see, it shows me, you just have to click on here. So it's computer, it shows me there. So that's an illustration, a little cute icon I can add. Or if I don't like that, I just go down. So remember again, the king, it says that's pro. So either you pay, see it says this image and millions more can be unlocked to you if you have Canva Pro, or you pay $1.39 for one of the image that you want to use, right? So
How much is the Pro?
the Pro is $16 a month. So for
Yeah.
me, it is worth it, and it's month by month, or you can pay for the full year and it's $12 a month for the full year. For me, it's worth it if you start designing a lot, because if you think about it, how much you would have to pay for design too, right? It could cost you. So it depends on how often you design. You can try it for 1 month, see if it's worth it for you, see if you even use any of the pro features. Like I mentioned, I've been using Canva for years. I haven't even had to upgrade to pro until like a couple months ago. So there you go. That's a cool little cute icon. So there's so many icons out there that you can use, and that's the element. So now that say I'm done with that icon, I just X out. And then I want to show you this grid and shape. So what are the grid is, it allows you to set up a frame that you can add your photos in there. And so it allows you to really divide up the actual your working space. So if I put it up there, you can see it divides up that background into 3. And then what I do is I can go to my photos. And so I can say the first, for example, the first photo I want is there. The Then for the second one, I want this, right, kind of thing. So I'm just showing to you what this grid actually does. So it's just a frame, but it divides it up so that you're able to have 3 different photos into one. So I'm just gonna change that up. So that's what that, going back to elements. So that's what those grids are. Shapes allow you to create this solid, long rectangular and a lot of the shapes I use is to help pop out some certain fonts. So for example, if I put here, and shapes are just kind of fun ways to spice up your design. So let's say if I wanted to add, you know, this type of shape in here, it has that color, but I can change the shape to any color that I want to, right? So that's one way for the shape. And then another way is, I'm just gonna delete this. If I wanted a shape to add something to be in the background of this word, once again, I lengthen it, I create the shape, and then because it's covering the word, so here I go to position again, and I go backward. As you can see, now startup is on the front, right? So, and then maybe if I don't like, because now it doesn't look like it stands out that much, I can change the color to black and see if it pops up a little bit more. And then I can move that around. See, so that's what I use a lot of these shapes for, is at the back to be like a background for some of the fonts, the words, or some of the photos as well too, right? By photo, here's what I mean. So I will create a circle, and then I will pick a frame. Here's a frame, right? I will make the frame smaller, and then I put my frame inside my circle. And now I want to add my photo, my own photo. So let's say if this was your headshot, you put it there. And then there you go, it's in there. Now, you notice it cuts off his head, right? So once you're working with photos and you're adding photo into a frame, now this is a cool feature that they allows you to move around and crop. So make sure you remember that if you notice, anytime you click a photo, you can then go to cropped. Oh, and then you can, now it highlights it and you can move it around, right? You can move it up and down. You can make it smaller or bigger. You can make it like however you like, and you can go, there you go. And now you click done. So now it looks, well, I wouldn't do it that way. I would make it smaller actually to look good. Now this is about a look, and then I would just go, there you go. So it's, you see, his head is not cut off, right? I mean, there's filters, there's adjust, there's all these control. I like to keep it basic. I don't even use a lot of these filters, but as you can see, it gives you different look, different filter. Like I said, you can be addicted and sit here and look, it gives him a tan. So for me, I keep it basic. I just do regular, just the basic things, okay? So that is how I use some of the elements. So these shapes, you see, it gives it that background, right? And there's a lot of different shapes. And then the frame allows you to add a photo into the frame. And then you got some lines. So let's say they're lines. See, the lines just give you more accent to whatever you're trying to design. And you can make the line longer, you can make the line shorter. So elements are really different ways to spice up your design, and it's already pre-done there for you, right? So you can have a lot of fun playing around with it. So since I'm already on the presentation, what's cool about presentation feature in Canva is if you go and click present, it gives you an option to present right from Canva. So you can have different, so here, if I click on present, it's going to take up my whole computer space. And now I can move to different slides. So if you see, this is what, so if you're on a Zoom meeting like I am, or if you're presenting anywhere, it doesn't matter, and you have your laptop, if you're doing a live presentation, you can actually, the only time it's not, you can't do that is if you don't have Wi-Fi, because you do need internet access. So if you are in a room or in a meeting, a space where you don't have internet access, then you're better off just downloading this and here. So I'm just gonna, so download is pretty simple. So once you created this design, you just go here. This is the download button. So you can just go there and download, and it gives you all the different features that you can download. Normally I download PDF standard, and you can download that and save it, and that way you can use it anytime you want without having to log into Canva. Okay.
It doesn't give you PowerPoint. It doesn't give you PPT.
Sorry, I just realized. Yes, you are right. Yes, yes. Yeah, I think you have to present. Let me see. You have to present from here.
Oh, there it is.
No, there, Microsoft PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so you have to go up here to Microsoft PowerPoint. See, I'm always, so you're always discovering new things. You can share a link. I just basically use it for the basic thing. But so you notice I was doing a poster before, and then I jumped to this presentation, and then you might be asking, so what happened to that poster? Well, as I mentioned, anytime you go to home, all your designs will be under what's called all your designs. They have options for you to create folders and all of that, but look, see, all your designs are here. So there's my poster. Didn't go anywhere. I just click on my poster, brings me back to my poster. I continue to work on my poster. And if I'm kind of like, oh, you know, I'm a little bored with my poster, I want to go back to work on my presentation, I go back home, and then I can see. So you know, at one point, sometimes I think I might have sometimes ADD that I like to design a few things at the same time. So sometimes I'm working on like a poster, I'm working on a presentation, and I'm working on a Facebook post. So I kind of play around a little bit, but it's all here as well too. I want to log into my account now. So I want to show you guys so that you can see my pro account. Maybe you can kind of see quickly the difference. But here you go. Log in. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh, I'm just gonna log in with Facebook. How are you guys doing so far?
I think it's great.
Oh, good. Okay, I don't want to go too slow. I don't want to go too fast. But like everything, I believe with Canva, you got to just practice and play around and keep it simple for now, right? Because you're just starting out. They got all of these different like online classes and different things. Just don't worry about all of them. They got like design school, create a team. A brand kit. I mean, when I started out, I don't use any of these things. I just use the basic stuff, which is create a design, right? Now, I want to show you all your design. I want to show you like all the different designs that you can create. Oh, they even have a Zoom meeting backdrop that you can use. So I've even created lots of videos. So they even have videos as well. But today is only an hour, and I want to keep it simple. And you can create your own logo. I want to keep it very simple for you guys to start creating something simple. The main thing is to start, right? And so if you can just log in to Canva and just go create a design, and just choose something that inspires you that you might need to create right away. Maybe you want to create a Facebook post, just start with that and play around with the elements, right? I already show you the photos, the elements, text, music, and videos. These are the new features that they have, where you can create your own videos and you can insert music on there as well too. Um, I've used some of them before. I haven't used a lot yet. I'm still just, playing around. But I suggest, if you're on here, you're probably having a need to create something. So just start creating that, and play around with it. See how you like. Um, I am available online as well too. So for those you guys, if you guys have Facebook, I've decided to create. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go back to my presentation. I created a Facebook group for all of us just to be able to connect and learn and share as well. So as you're learning graphic design, it's important just to practice. And maybe your first couple of designs, if you don't mind joining the group, sharing with us, and let me see. Like I said, just create. When it comes to designs, there's a lot more theory behind it. That's why we have professional designers. When I'm talking about theory, I mean color, understanding the color wheels, how different color can make a certain look, and understanding the fonts, understanding using white space, understanding the copy that you put on there. Now that's a lot of theories. I don't want to get into that. That's why I didn't even go into that right now. I just want you guys to set up Canva, create something, and just go with the flow kind of thing, right? But eventually I do want to have a more of an in-depth class where I'm going to show you what's the difference between a good looking design and a not so good looking design. Now that's a lot of design concepts that you guys can definitely learn to make your design even better. But I don't want to feel overwhelmed, because a lot of time I feel people get started, they're like, oh, I can never make my design look like that. Well, just start with basic, just put something together, that's it. And so I did create a Facebook group, which I will be sending out an email to everyone that's registered at 10. So at this point, we have a couple more minutes that I want to save for some questions, but I want to just say thank you so much for attending. If you got value, please feel free to send me a text or a video testimonial letting me know. If I'm friends with you on Facebook, just message me on Facebook. That's good enough, because that way, I know that this is something good that I'm doing, and that it adds value to you guys. It has helped me tremendously in a lot of my businesses or side hustle that I do. I have hired many professional designers, but I've learned to also do my own thing so that it makes my life a lot easier as well too. And as I mentioned, the community is called Learn Marketing and Branding with Mine, which I plan to share a lot more about, not just graphic design, but how do you use graphic design to promote on social media, on how do you use different types of marketing, online marketing. And then I encourage you guys all to practice, create your own first piece of design, and share in that group. So if you just Google if you go on Facebook and search Learn Marketing and Branding with Mai, and then invite yourself into that. And please share your first design, or whatever design you've already done, please share it. And then I am, on Wednesday at the class that I taught, a lot of people were requesting for me to have a more in-depth session to talk about really different cool things that you can do with your designs. And that will probably require a longer session, and they were okay with a 2-hour session, really in-depth. So I invite you to, I will share more information. If that's something that you want to continue on to learn, then I'll invite you. But in the meantime, I will be communicating and sharing a lot going forward. This is just the beginning. I find that it starts with learning how to create the graphic designs, and then we can kind of create brand new Facebook pages, social media pages. A lot of these design can be used on YouTube, on your own website, and things like that as well too. Okay. Does anyone have any question at this moment?
I want to say thank you. I think it's been wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Barry. Actually, you know what?
Perfectly pitched. Yeah.
Let me launch. Okay, stop share okay, I'm gonna launch the next poll. All right. Even there's a few of you guys here. Some of you guys came late, but I will be sending the recording. Let me see. I can just stop the recording now.
Mike, thank you for the class. So very